Black people don't have nothing because they don't want to work for nothing. They lazy and entitled, want everything given to them.
Many historical narratives frame the modern racial wealth gap as a result of a slow start. They suggest that after emancipation, Black communities simply failed to secure the foundations of generational wealth through their own lack of initiative. Judging a lack of progress requires an honest look at the ground beneath it. The standard metric of success assumes the field stayed level. In the decades following the Civil War, Black Americans moved at a staggering pace. They purchased land, established towns, and built their own banking systems, schools, and civic institutions. Take this schoolhouse in the South. The teacher and her students stand in formal attire, representing a community that independently secured resources for organized education. These early successes are largely invisible today because they were forcibly removed from the timeline. This early prosperity was systematically dismantled. In 1898, Wilmington, North Carolina, operated as a hub of Black civic influence. Black citizens had successfully used the democratic process to serve as magistrates, police officers, and elected city officials. These 9 leaders represent the professional class that managed the city. Their formal dress and medals reflect the established authority they held within local government. White supremacists responded to this electoral success by orchestrating an armed coup d'etat. They forced the city's elected leadership to resign at gunpoint, effectively ending Black political agency in the region. The men who enforced this change carried rifles and wore matching uniforms. They functioned as a coordinated paramilitary force designed to impose control through intimidation. This pattern repeated in 1920 in Ocoee, Florida. When Black citizens attempted to cast their ballots on Election Day, it triggered a wave of coordinated violence that drove the entire Black population from their homes. These events show that whenever Black communities achieved political representation, the system responded with organized terror and total disenfranchisement. The same mechanics of erasure applied to economic independence. By 1921, the Greenwood district of Tulsa, Oklahoma, had become one of the most prosperous commercial hubs in the country. Ferguson's Drugs stands 3 stories tall. This brick structure housed a pharmacy, professional offices, and modern storefronts, infrastructure matching the most successful metropolitan districts of the early 20th century. In a single weekend, an armed mob set fire to these thriving blocks. They moved methodically, destroying over 30 city blocks of Black-owned property. These photographs show the results. The street was left with skeletal remains of buildings that, days earlier, had been the center of the region's wealth. Beyond Tulsa, similar violence leveled the rural town of Rosewood, Florida. After a week of mob violence in 1923, the entire town was burned, and its residents were forced to flee for their lives. Coordinated physical violence replaced market competition. The destruction of property effectively ended the accumulation of generational wealth. The suppression extended to labor rights. In 1919, Black sharecroppers in Elaine, Arkansas, organized to demand fair market prices for their cotton. This meeting of thousands illustrates the high degree of community solidarity. These farmers had successfully built a collective voice to negotiate with white landowners. The attempt to unionize was met with a massacre. Local mobs and federal troops killed hundreds of Black residents, breaking the union effort through mass casualty. When we plot these events on a map, the geographic and chronological pattern reveals a clear system. In just 25 years, these targeted attacks occurred in North Carolina, Florida, Oklahoma, and Arkansas. This was a sustained, nationwide effort. We return to the common claim that Black communities lacked the ability to generate their own wealth. The historical archive reveals a story of meticulously documented, targeted theft. This explains the missing prosperity far more accurately than any theory of inherent failure. Even in the face of this erasure, these communities refuse to stay down. They return to the ruins, laying new bricks over smoldering ashes to rebuild their homes and businesses repeatedly. The conversation must move past asking why these communities failed to keep their momentum. The more relevant question is, how many times did they build before it was torn down? The legacy of these towns lives in the strength of the hands that relentlessly rebuilt. The embers were the starting point, not the end.